Welcome back to Spooge MMA, and in today's video we're going to be recapping UFC Fight Night Allen vs. Curtis 2. If you guys didn't see the main event, it was a 5-round scrap between Brendan Allen and Chris Curtis, and I'm going to break down the main event, but first we're going to start breaking down the first fights on the card, starting with the very first fight on the card, Melissa Dixon versus Nora Cannoli. And first round of this bout was kind of just Melissa Dixon trying to look to push Nora up against the cage, try to look to control her with the clinch entries, try to look to take her down, but couldn't really take down Nora Cannoli. Nora Cannoli staying with it in the first round, and then eventually the second round landed a nice knee to the body that hurts Melissa Dixon, backs Melissa Dixon away. She tries to retreat. Nora comes in, goes forward, landing a nice head kick that drops Melissa Dixon. Nora Cannoli jumps on for ground and pound and gets the TKO win in the second round over Melissa Dixon. Great finish for Nora Cannoli, for the French woman. Great fucking job. Next bout, Dylan Bugka versus Cesar Almeida. First round starts, Dylan lands a nice head kick off the guard of Cesar Almeida. Then Dylan shoots for an easy double leg takedown. Cesar does get up, but Dylan's in clinch control, has Cesar's back against the cage. Dylan then brings Cesar back to the ground for another takedown. Cesar quickly gets up, but in clinch with his back against the cage, and they end round one. Dylan, he got the first round. Not much action in the first, but he's easily controlling Cesar Almeida with the takedowns and the clinch positions and the clinch entries. So first round goes to Dylan Bugka. Second round starts, Cesar opens a second, letting a nice body kick, then putting a right hand behind it. Dylan goes for a takedown attempt, but stuffed by Cesar. Dylan then pushes Cesar to the cage. Cesar lands some nice elbows in clinch, then lands a nice knee in clinch too as well. And then Cesar begins to start hurting Dylan with these short punches in the clinch position. Dylan starts to gas out. Cesar looking to finish Dylan just by beating him up from stuffing the takedowns, beating him up from top. And Dylan goes for one last level change. Almeida stuffs it, really starts beating Dylan from the top just by stuffing the takedowns and just beating him up with the ground and pound, and eventually gets the TKO win. Nice fucking job by Cesar Almeida. Nice TKO win. Kind of like Curtis Blades versus Jailton Almeida-esque. That type of finish, just, Dylan Bugka shooting for the takedowns, desperately shooting, and Cesar just beating him up from the top. And beautiful fucking win by Cesar Almeida. Nice fucking job. And perfectly predicted by yours truly, bro. I legit said Dylan Bugka had nothing really to show for on the feet. He'll shoot takedowns for basically the whole bout. Cesar Almeida would need to stuff him, and he'll get the TKO win just by stuffing him and beating him up from the top. That's exactly what fucking happened, bro. So nice fucking prediction by yours truly. Nice fucking going, fucking Spooge. And it was a great fucking win for Cesar Almeida. And Almeida, bro, in the Dana White Contender Series, he's fought Lucas Fernando, who in my opinion is more scarier of a fighter than Dylan Bugka. He has more KO finishes on the feet and more submission wins on the ground. So Cesar already been through a tough fight on the Dana White Contender Series over Lucas Fernando. So him versus Dylan Bugka was going to be some light work, all right? So nice going by Cesar Almeida to get the nice TKO win in the second round. Back-to-back second round finishes. Next bout, Dan Arguleta versus Gene Matsumoto. And this shit was a scrap, bro. First round starts off. Dan lands a nice big right hand, then shoots for a takedown and gets it. Dan lands some nice ground and pound. Gene's trying to get up, but Dan just bringing him back down to the canvas. Does that for about 3 times to get 3 takedowns, just bringing him back down to the ground. Dan, more ground and pound, lands a nice hard elbow from top. Gene gets up, then reverses the clinch positions, actually brings Dan down for a takedown of his own. Dan gets up, stuffs a single leg entry from Gene, and manages to get his 4th takedown on Gene Matsumoto. Gene gets up with his back against the cage until they break. Gene lands a nice calf kick on the break and ends round 1 with another hard calf kick. And dude, good first round by Dan. I gave Dan the first. Got 4 takedowns in round 1, more control, then a decent ground and pound, but near the end, Gene Matsumoto started to let go on the stand-up, so Gene beginning to warm up going into round 2. Dan starts round 2 off, getting a double leg takedown. Gene does manage to get up, but Dan relentless by taking him back down again. Gene gets up and reverses the clinch and breaks the position. Gene lands a nice calf kick and another calf kick. Dan then shoots and gets a takedown, but quickly they get back up. Then Gene gets a takedown of his own, but Dan quickly gets up and pushes Gene to the fence until they break. Dan level changes again, but Gene stuffs it. They get back in range. Then Dan shoots into a Gene guillotine, and it looks really tight, and eventually Dan will have to tap with 2 seconds left to go in round 2. And man, bro, if Dan just survived those 2 seconds, we would have had a sick third round between these two, but he fucking doesn't. Shoots right into a guillotine of Gene, and Gene, nice job getting him to tap. It was a nice tight guillotine. You saw Dan tap, and then right after he let go, like, Dan still went out cold. Like, it was a real tight guillotine, but nice win by Gene. But Dan was doing exactly what I predicted him to do. Like, I predicted Dan to win via decision just by taking Gene down for 3 rounds. And that's kind of what he was doing through 2. But then eventually shoots into the guillotine of Gene. And Gene makes him pay with a nice submission win. Nice job by Gene. Next bout, Pedro Falcao versus Victor Hugo. And Victor Hugo gets the action started in the first, landing a nice front kick. Pedro tries to respond with a takedown entry, but Hugo stuffs it. Pedro results in clinch control. Then Pedro lands a nice sweep takedown to bring Hugo down to the canvas. Then quickly transitions to take the back. Then he transitions back to top. Hugo then looking for a submission from the bottom. Then Pedro gets out of the submission until they get back in range. Hugo lands a nice left hand. Pedro tries to close in, but Hugo backs him off. Pedro clinches up, and then they break. Hugo lands a nice calf kick on the break. Hugo barely misses an uppercut that almost lands on Pedro. Then Hugo lands a nice body kick, then lands a left hand as the buzzer sounds. They end round 1. And Pedro, he had good pace in the first round, clinching, not really much action, but Hugo didn't start to connect on his punches near the end. So I gave Pedro the first round. Good start by him. But, could he keep the pace for, rounds 2 and 3? He fucking couldn't, but nice fucking start by Pedro Falcao. Second round, Hugo starts the second, landing a nice left hook. Pedro looks to shoot for a single. Hugo stuffs it, lands a nice left hands and clinch. Then they break, they get back in range. Hugo lands a nice calf kick, then follows it up with a left hook. Pedro then shoots, but gets stuffed by Hugo. Hugo letting go on the feet while Pedro just trying to close distance. Hugo lands a nice body kick. Hugo's spinning kick barely lands until they get in clinch. Then they let go. Hugo lands a calf kick, and then they end round 2. Hugo gets round 2, like more output from him, trying to cause damage, while Pedro just looking to change levels. So I gave Hugo the second round. It's 1-1 going into the third. Start the third round. Hugo drops Pedro with a left hook to open the third round. Falcao does get up. Hugo looks to land a spinning kick but misses. Falcao goes for a takedown but stuffed by Hugo. Hugo lands another left hook. Falcao responds with a combination of his own, then clinches up until they break. Falcao clinches again. Hugo gets out. Hugo lands a nice leg kick. Then the third round ends. And Falcao, tough third round. He gets dropped in the opening seconds of the third. And right when that happens, all the momentum kind of went to Hugo's side, and Hugo takes the win via decision. So nice performance by Victor Hugo. I was actually kind of surprised with his game plan. I kind of thought he'll look to wrestle for his own case, kind of, look to take down Pedro, then look for submissions, on the ground. But nah, dude, he wanted to stand up. He wanted to scrap with him. So salute to Victor Hugo, bro. Nice decision win by Pedro Falcao. Straight up scrapping with him, right when he dropped Pedro with that left hook in the opening seconds of the third round. It was kind of his win. Just after that, Pedro couldn't really land anything significant to match it. So nice fucking win by Victor Hugo. Nice fucking job, and gets the decision win. Next fight, Norma Dumont versus Germaine de Randamie. And this fight was pretty fucking boring, I would say. Norma starts the first round. She does hurt Germaine, then eventually, looks to take her down and basically ends round 1 on top of Germaine. And I gave Norma the first, just all over Germaine de Randamie with the takedown, and she got the control time. So I gave Norma the first. We go to round 2. Germaine gets in clinch control, lands some nice right hands and clinch until they break. Then Germaine lands some nice sharp striking on the feet. Eventually, Norma does, get the leg sweep takedown and takes Germaine back down to the canvas and ends round 2 on top. But the second round, I gave it to Germaine. I thought she was landing some more damaging shots with the sharp striking, and plus she was scoring strikes in the clinch when she was peppering the body of Norma Dumont when they were in clinch. Then we go to the third round. Jermaine lands a nice left hook, but then eventually Norma looks to take down Jermaine, ends round 3 on top. Jermaine was throwing shots off her back, but still, Norma gets the win, gets the decision win. I gave her the third round too. She got the takedown and she got the control time. She gets the win. Nice fucking job by Norma Dumont. And I was low-key just thinking about this. Like, Norma Dumont, like, you're gonna have to start finishing these women, bro. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, only 2 submission wins on your record. No KO finishes. Like, come on. Like, you gotta start finishing your dinner. Norma Dumont should have finished Jermaine Duraname. I mean, 4-year layoff. Like, come the fuck on, Norma Dumont. Like, shit. I get Jermaine is basically, like, kind of like a dude. Basically, like, kind of a dyke. But, like, dude, come on. Like, you have, like, some nice hard right hands. Like, take her down and land some vicious ground and pound. Like, add some fucking elbows from the top. Add some fucking, hard, vicious ground and pound. Stop just, like, getting, like, trying to get these wins via control time and takedowns and shit like that. Like, start finishing your dinner. Like, come on, Norma Dumont. Next bout, Lucas Brzezinski versus Valter Walker. First round starts. Lucas lands a nice leg kick early on. The Valter gets an easy takedown on Luca. It takes him down. Valter lands some nice ground and pound until they get up. Luca lands a right hand, then left hand to the body. Luca's letting go on the feet. Then Valter gets another single leg takedown to end round 1. First round ends. I gave the first round to Walker. I thought he got the 2 takedowns, the ground and pound, and he got the control time. I gave him the first round, but Lucas Brzezinski is letting go on the feet and, landing whatever the fuck he wants on the feet so far in the first, but I still gave the first round to Valter Walker. Starter round 2, Luca is landing quick strikes on the feet, so far controlling round 2 to start. Then Luca lands a nice calf kick and Valter returns one of his own. Valter then shoots for a double, pushes Luca to the cage, gets his hands wrapped around Luca, then dumps him for a takedown. Luca does get up though, lands a nice calf kick on the break. Valter looks absolutely tired when he gets up. Looks like he lost a step. His stamina bar is on empty right now. Luca basically controlled the rest of the second round, landing whatever he wants on the feet, but Valter Walker not being able to take him down and not looking to, match the energy on the feet with the striking. So I gave Luca the second round. Then we go to round 3. It's 1-1 going into round 3. Valter gets a takedown to start round 3. Valter so far controlling Lucas on the ground. Actually gets a body triangle that eventually transitions to top. Then out of nowhere, Lucas reverses positions, gets on top, and starts ground and pounding away on Valter Walker until Valter Walker somehow reverses positions and ends round 3 on top. Crazy scrambles to end the third round in this bout. And, at first, I gave the third round to Valter. I thought he was doing pretty good, controlling him. He actually got a body triangle. But, the judges gave it to Luca Brzezinski. And at first, I was pretty kind of mad. I was kind of irritated. I thought Valter should have won. But then you kind of look at the stats and look at the damage. That third round, when Luca changed positions and started ground and pounding away, that totally won him the fight. And plus, he was causing more damage. While Valter Walker was kind of just looking for takedowns and looking to lay and pray. And, Luca causing the more damage, landing the more strikings too on the feet. And Valter Walker, loses his UFC debut versus Lucas Brzezinski. It was a nice win by Luca, but Valter Walker, he does have potential. He fucking does have a solid chin. He just needs to start doing more. It's kind of crazy, like him and Johnny Walker, they're brothers. Johnny Walker kind of does too much, and while Valter Walker just does too little. You know what I mean? Like, he just needs to get takedowns and starts executing on the takedowns, landing hard ground and pound like he did in the first round. Or, take him down and try to look for arm triangle from up top. Try to look for, your submissions when you're on the ground. You can't just be laying and praying on Lucas Brzezinski and just, hopefully you win the fight via decision. But, Lucas Brzezinski, he's given Valter Walker a learning experience loss. Valter Walker, I think he could come back a lot better in his next UFC fight. But, yeah, nice win by Brzezinski. And this, Valter Walker, this is just a hiccup in your career, bro. I do think Valter Walker could have a solid UFC future. Just he needs to add more with the ground and pound, and add some submissions to your game, bro. Like, I believe he has 1 submission win, bro. If you can get on top of Lucas Brzezinski and try to get an arm triangle from top, he could probably get it, bro. Just add some more tools to his arsenal. Then Valter Walker could be a solid UFC heavyweight for a couple years to come. Next bout, Court McGee versus Alex Morono. fucking old man veteran scrap right here. Morono, first round starts. He lands a nice right hand early that kind of, stuns Kurt, kind of hurts him in the opening moments of the first round. But Court still there, still standing. Lands a nice 1-2 to the body on Morono. Then lands and adds on with a calf kick. Then adds on with another right hand to the body. Morono responds with a body kick and another right hand. Then Morono lands another right hand. Then they end round 1. First round, I gave it to Morono. I thought he was landing a little bit better with that right hand. While Court McGee, I felt that first round was kind of more a fill-out process for him. And then we go to round 2. McGee opens the second round, catching a body kick from Morono. Tries to go forward, tries to go for the takedown, but goes right into a Morono guillotine attempt. And for a second, it looks really tight, but eventually McGee squeezes his way out and gets on top position of Morono. McGee starts peppering the body of Morono with nice short punches, adding on statistics with the punches, total strikes. Morono goes for another guillotine attempt but doesn't get it. McGee landing some more ground and pound, and eventually Moreno gets back to his feet. McGee lands a nice calf kick, then adds on with another. Morono tries to retaliate, landing a nice right hand. McGee goes to change levels, but it's tough, and they end round 2 swinging. Court McGee, he gets round 2. Scary start for him when he went right into the guillotine, but, after he got out of the guillotine, he was on top position. He had control time. He was adding on with the striking, with peppering the body and shit like that. He gets to second round, and it's 1-1 going into round 3. Start of the third, McGee tries to open the third round, going for a single leg, but doesn't get it. McGee lands a nice leg kick, then a right hand to the body. Morono retaliates with a right hand of his own. Morono then adds on with another right hand, then a kick added behind it. McGee looks for a takedown, but is stuffed by Morono. Morono right now is looking for the right hand to put away McGee in the closing moments of the third round. Then McGee eventually gets a takedown to end round 3, and the bout ends. And the decision went to Court McGee. I do agree with the decision. And Morono, I was just kind of irritated with how he was fighting in that third round. Like, Court McGee, I was saying in my prediction video, he has a glass chin, coming off 2 KO losses to Jeremiah Wells and Matt Brown. And Alex Morono, he was just looking for that one right hand to put him away. But it's just like Morono, you don't have that type of power. Like, he needed to add something to it. Like, add a nice stiff jab, then a right hand, check left hook, and then a hard right overhand. Like, he just needed to add something to it. I don't know if there was something wrong with his left hand, but if he just added a jab first and then added a right hand, you probably would have fucking finished Court McGee. But Court McGee does get a nice decision win. I am kind of, happy for him, coming off 2 brutal KO losses. He does get back in the win columns to, so salute to him. But Alex Morono, I was just mad in that third round. He was just looking for the one right hand power. When you don't have that type of power, bro, if you just added a jab, 1-2, 1-2 jab, 1-2 jab, just add something, behind it, bro. You just had no volume with his striking. Looked really fucking piss poor. And I was fucking pissed off that I picked Alex Morono to win via TKO, bro. You should have KO'd this dude, Court McGee. Fuck you doing? Bum of a team, eh? You bum of a team. But yeah, Alex Morono, shit, moves on to 23-10. I'm not saying he should get cut, but shit, dude, this was definitely a winnable fight, and you just didn't fucking win it, dude. I'm just really disappointed on Alex Morono. Fucking trash can. Jesus Christ, dude. Court McGee, G? Oh, man, dude, that's fucking disappointing, bro. Next bout, first fight on the main card, Trevor Peek versus Charlie Campbell. This was a solid fucking scrap. First round, they both exchanged calf kicks to start. Campbell then lands another calf kick. Peek tries to answer back but misses his barrage of punches. Peek then eventually clinches up. Peek drags Charlie down to the ground for a takedown, but Charlie quickly gets back up. Campbell lands some nice right hands on Peek. Campbell then eventually gets a trip takedown to end round 1. Campbell, he gets the first round, landing some nice calf kicks early, then striking, landing upstairs with the strikes, and getting a takedown to end round 1. So I gave Campbell the first round. Start round 2. Peek clinches up. Campbell separates. Campbell lands some nice hard calf kicks on Peek. Peek clinches up again. Campbell fights out of it. Peek lands some nice standing hammer fists in range on Charlie Campbell. Then Campbell shoots for a takedown. Peek gets up. Peek lands a nice right hand that appears to stun Charlie. Peek eventually gets a takedown and ground a pound on Charlie until they get back up, they end round 2 swinging, and Peak, I gave Peak the second round. Like, for some reason, Charlie Campbell, he kind of stopped or slowed down the calf kicks in the second round. He found, some success in the first round with the calf kicks. He was really, put it on Trevor Peak's lead leg, and I thought he should have went back to it, but for some reason the second round he stopped doing it. Trevor Peak, he did get a takedown in the second round, and he did land a nice right hand to like really wide eye Charlie Campbell. So I gave Peak the second round, and we're going into round 3. Round 3 starts. Peak clips Charlie with a nice left hand. Open the third round. Charlie clinches up. Peak lands some nice foot stomps. Charlie breaks. Peak chases him down, then Charlie changes levels to get a takedown, then transitions to take the back. Charlie locks in the body triangle. Charlie looks for the rear naked choke. Pete gets off his back, and Charlie starts looking for the arm triangle. Then Pete gets up his back again. Charlie takes the back, goes for the rear naked choke. And eventually, Pete does get up, but Charlie chases him down to get another takedown to end round 3 on top, and Charlie gets the decision win. Nice fucking job by Charlie Campbell. That third round really controlled Trevor Peak, controlled the fucking fight. Nice job by Charlie Campbell. And Trevor Peak, bro, it's just another decision loss for Trevor Peak just by getting taken down and shit like that, bro. We need you to start KOing these dudes, bro. Stop fucking trying to take him down too. You need to match the energy and hit him with some hard strikes on the feet, bro. Trevor Peak, he has the power, bro. He has the power to put these dudes away, but for some reason he wants to match the energy and try to go for takedowns as well. It's like, dude, just go crazy on the feet like what you used to do. Like, shit, bro. Like, fuck. Charlie Campbell, he does get clipped. Just like how he got clipped versus Chris Duncan on the Dana White Contender Series, bro. He gets fucking clipped. And I believe Trevor Peak, he should have said fuck the takedown attempts and just go in for the KOs. Try to go for some chaos on the feet. The fucking man dance, you know what I'm saying? Let's fucking go. I can't believe Trevor Peak wouldn't do that. He kind of wanted to shoot takedowns too, but he probably was tired. He was gassed in that third round. But Charlie Campbell, having some more tools, more arsenals with his grappling, with his wrestling, getting the takedowns in the third round, got him the fucking win. Nice job by Charlie Campbell. And Trevor Peak, another decision loss on his record, bro. Fuck. Next bout, Ignacio Bahamondes versus Christos Giagos. And this was a sick finish by Ignacio Bahamondes. First round starts. Giagos tries to land a calf kick. Ignacio returns one of his own. Giagos lands a nice right hand to the body. Ignacio returns with a front kick to the body. Giagos then changes levels, goes for a takedown, but Ignacio stuffs it. They're back in range. Ignacio lands a nice calf kick, and Ignacio lands a nice right hand that hurts Giagos. Ignacio clinches, then lands a nice elbow on the break. Then Ignacio, clean head kick KO that drops Christos Giagos, and he gets the first round TKO win. Nice fucking job of my guy Ignacio Bahamondes, bro. Back in the win column following a tough loss to Ludwig Klein. Ludwig Klein's a really good MMA fighter. I'm a big fan of his. But, little hiccup for Ignacio Bahamondes. Now he's learned, his mistakes. What is wrong? He's back in the fucking win column now. Nice fucking job by him. And, dude, I'm excited to see what Ignacio can turn into in the upcoming years in this UFC future, bro. In his UFC career. I believe he's only like 26, 25 years old, bro. Still mid-20s. And, dude, he's a threat, bro. Fucking real threat. Real tall, real lengthy. And gets a nice TKO win over Christos Giagos in the first round. Nice job by my guy, Ignacio Bahamondes. And, dude, bright future, bro. If he can put together a nice, solid win streak, he could be up next for, a top, he could be up next against a top-ranked opponent in his future. But nice win by Ignacio Bahamondes. Bright future for this kid, bro. Happy to see what he can do. Next bout, Morgan Charrer versus Chepe Mariscal. And this was a real fucking scrap right here. Real fucking scrap. Chepe opens the first round going for a takedown, but it's quickly stuffed by Morgan. Chepe then pushes Morgan's to the fence in clinch control. Morgan lands a nice knee to the body, and then they break clinch position. Chepe then re-engages to clinch, pushing Morgan to the fence again. Morgan then lands a nice clean elbow and clinch. Chepe then lands a nice knee on the break. They clinch again, but Morgan this time reverses positions. He's now in clinch control until Chepe reverses it back. Then Morgan gets the takedown, but Chepe scrambles to his feet, and Chepe lands a nice head kick to end round 1. And solid first round by Chepe, bro. I thought Chepe was pressuring Morgan. He's trying to land takedowns. Morgan Morgan was stuffing them, and Morgan did get a takedown of his own. But, dude, I thought Chepe did a good job in that first round, kind of controlling Morgan Charrer, and kind of doing whatever he kind of wanted with them in that first round. Just kind of pushing him up against the fence, controlling him. So I gave Chepe the first round. To start round 2, Chepe opens it up, landing a nice calf kick. Then Morgan cracks Chepe with a clean 1-2. Then Chepe tries to retaliate with a calf kick, then a head kick right after. Then Chepe adds on with a left hook. Then Morgan lands a nice combination of a left hook, then right hand. Then Morgan goes downstairs with a left hand to the body. Chepe responds with a left hook. Morgan lands a right hand. Then Morgan lands a calf kick that catches Chepe off balance. He gets a takedown. Chepe gets up and out. Chepe lands a nice clean front kick on Morgan that pushes his head back, but Morgan still, gets his hands around Chepe and dumps him for a takedown to end round 2. In second round, you have to give it to Morgan, bro. Looking really good. Round 2, clean striking, going on his own flow, and plus he got 2 takedowns over Chepe. I gave Morgan the second round. Chepe, he was kind of weird that second round. He was not going for the clinch entries like he was going to in the first round. He was kind of just more like wanting to scrap with him on the feet. So Morgan gets round 2 by outstriking him and outclassing him in that second round. To start round 3, Chepe lands a nice slap on Morgan. And this is when I get kind of pissed off on Chepe. It's like, dude, stop slapping your opponents, bro. I get like it's annoying and it looks kind of flashy. It looks kind of, Nate Diaz-esque. But it's like, dude, like fucking turn your fucking palm into a fucking fist and turn that into a left hook, bro. Like, fuck the slap, bro. I get it's supposed to annoy your opponents. It's kind of like, grappling and putting your hand like over your opponent's mouth. It's not going to do any damage. It's just trying to annoy your opponent. So I was kind of mad when Chepe was slapping Morgan Charrer. It's like, turn those into fucking closed fists and turn those into left hooks, bro. But then, he lands a slap, then Chepe goes to land a calf kick, then lands a body kick right after. Chepe lands a right hand that stuns Morgan. Then Morgan goes to change levels. He gets the takedown. Morgan has Chepe flat on his back. Morgan landing some nice short punches to the body from top mount. Then Chepe scrambles to get out. Chepe now clinches up. Morgan tries for a submission, but Chepe gets out of it. Chepe then reverses to get now. Morgan tries for a submission, but Chepe gets out of it. Chepe reverses positions, now gets on top, starts ground and pounding away on Morgan, and Chepe ends round 3, landing ground and pound and on top mount. And dude, you have to give Chepe the bout, bro. You have to give it, bro. I get Morgan did get the takedown and got control time and was landing some nice peppering shots to the body, scoring strikes. But dude, that finish by Chepe was fucking nice, bro. Beautiful finish to that fucking great scrap they had. Nice fucking finish by Chepe Mariscal, bro. Nice way to finish that fucking bout. And dude, that's what won him the fight, bro. I saw many people thought Morgan Charrer should have won, but dude, I'm happy with the judge's decision, dude. It was a great decision. I had it the same way. That finish, bro, that finish for that third round gave Chepe the win. So nice job by Chepe. And Chepe Mariscal, dude, this dude's on a fucking roll right now. Chepe beats a undefeated Trevor Peek. And then he beats a Jack Jenkins. I get, Jack Jenkins injured, but still counts as a win in the rankings. And then he beats a tough Morgan Charrer, bro. Nice fucking job by Chepe Mariscal. Dude, that fucking end to that third round is definitely what won him this fucking fight. Nice fucking job. Good visual. And nice fucking job by Chepe Mariscal, cuz. Nice fucking job, G. Next bout, Alexander Hernandez versus Damon Jackson. And the first round starts. Alex opens up the first, landing a nice right hand, then adding a calf kick behind it. Damon responds with a right hand of his own. Then Damon lands a hard leg kick on Alexander Hernandez, then lands another hard leg kick. Then Damon Jackson eventually clinches up, looks to take the back of Alex. Damon lands some nice knees to the thigh and clinch. Alex reverses positions until they get back in range. Then Damon catches a Alex kick, backs him to the fence, clinches up, landing some nice knees to the thigh again. Then Damon gets his hands locked around Alexander Hernandez, picks him up, and dumps him down to the ground for a takedown, and he ends round 1 on top. First round I gave to Damon Jackson. He got the takedown to end the first, and plus, he landed some nice solid calf kicks too early on in the first round. I gave Damon Jackson the first round. Second round starts. Alex opens up the second, landing a nice calf kick. Damon returns one of his own. Then Damon lands a nice left hook. Then Alex responds with a nice right hand down the middle. Damon responds with a right hand of his own. Then Damon lands another calf kick. Alex lands a 1-2, then a quick left hand. Then Damon comes inside and gets a takedown and quickly takes the back of Alex. Then Damon Jackson landing some nice shots off Allen's back. They end round 2. In second round, it was solid back and forth on the feet. Alex was landing some quick shots, but Damon, he got the takedowns and he took the back and he finished round 2 landing some solid ground and pound off Alex Hernandez's back. So I gave Damon Jackson the second round as well. Then we go to round 3. Third round starts. Alex sits Damon Jackson down with a perfectly timed right hand and looks to take it back of Damon Jackson, but transitions to top. Damon does get up, tries for a takedown of his own, eventually gets the takedown and quickly takes the back of Alex. Damon lands some nice ground and pound off the back, but Damon slips off the back, but quickly gets in clinch, and they go reversing clinch positions back and forth and see who's back against the cage. Damon ends round 3, landing a nice left and right hand, and round 3 ends. In that third round, that was Alex Hernandez's round. He did win that round on my scorecards, but still, I had it a little bit too late. I had Damon Jackson already winning rounds 1 and 2, and Alex Hernandez only winning the third. But dude, great start for the third round for Alexander Hernandez. He did drop or sat Damon Jackson down with a right hand, but he couldn't really execute on it. It wasn't enough to put Damon Jackson's lights out cold, but it was a nice win by Damon Jackson. Good solid first 2 rounds. Third round, he did get dropped, but he did come back from it. It did end round 3 pretty solid, but I gave Alex Hernandez that round. It was a nice fucking win by Damon Jackson, bro. Nice fucking job. And Alexander Hernandez, bro. Shit, dude. This dude's probably cut, bro. Like, he's probably fucking cut from the UFC. And it's fucking tough, bro. It's actually pretty tough. Like you go back to the Donald Cerrone type of thing when you think about him. Like, when he tried to talk shit to Donald Cerrone, and that, backfired in his face because Cerrone, TKO'd him when they fought. He was like one of the main like dudes of like when trash talkers get owned, when trash talkers get exposed. He was basically one of the first ones to do it in the UFC, and one of the first ones that I saw with my own eyes, and it was really fucking sad, dude. After the Cerrone fight, he just never talked the same again, bro. He stopped talking a big game, started being more kind of like into himself, bro. Just was not the same after the Cerrone loss, bro. And it's fucking kind of fucking sad, bro. Cerrone legit took all his confidence away and all of his competitive fireness away. So like, shit, dude. Shout out to Cerrone for doing that. But like, dude, like, damn, that must suck for Alexander Hernandez, bro. And dude, that's the thing, and I was thinking about, bro. Hernandez was probably the man on the MMA circuit, bro. Then he comes to the UFC, tries to test himself, and then, he does win some fights, but he loses the big fights, lose the big fight versus Cerrone, and he loses a big fight, co-main event versus Damon Jackson. It's just fucking tough for Alexander Hernandez, bro. It's fucking tough, Try to test himself, and, tested himself, and, just didn't work out his way, bro. It kind of sucks for him, though. Probably getting cut, like I said, and hopefully you fucking bounce back in PFL or Bellator. Shout out fucking Alexander Hernandez. Solid run with the UFC. It's fucking over now, bro. I'm fucking sorry. Damon Jackson gets a nice decision win in a co-main event. Nice fucking job by Damon Jackson. Next bout, the main event of the evening. Brendan Allen versus Chris Curtis, bro. First round starts. Allen lands a nice body kick on Chris Curtis. Follows it up with a right hook. Curtis retaliates with a right hand of his own. Allen goes for a takedown, gets it, and quickly takes the back of Curtis. Allen looking for his signature rear naked choke early round 1. Then Curtis gets out and explodes to his feet. Then Allen lands a nice hard right hand when they get back in range. Allen lands a nice calf kick. Curtis lands a nice right uppercut, then left hand. Curtis lands a nice 1-2. Curtis follows it up with a quick left hand. Allen responds with a 1-2 of his own and a body kick, and they end round 1. Allen, he got the first round, got the early takedown. He had the back control, and it was landing solid shots when they went back on the feet too, with the punches and the body kick, bro. His body kick looked really fucking good, looked really fucking sharp, on the target every fucking time, on the fucking money. And I gave Allen the first round. Kind of a slow start by Curtis in the first. Second round starts. Allen starts it off with a nice jab, then a nice right hand down the pipe. Curtis retaliates with a right-left combination, then a right hook right after that. Allen lands a nice jab. Allen goes for a takedown try, but Curtis avoids it. Allen looks to clinches up. Nice elbows inside until they break. Curtis lands a nice left hand. Then Curtis 1-2, then leg kick. Then Curtis 1-1-2, then leg kick. Then Allen retaliates with a hard left and right hand. Curtis lands a nice left, then goes downstairs with a left hand to the body, and Curtis ends round 2, landing a nice right hook. Curtis, good round 2, started to heat up on the feet, avoiding the takedown entries, just, keeping it standing in the second round, and plus adding leg kicks too to after his combination. So that's good for him, and plus he's starting to attack the body too. And Allen, when he can't get his takedowns, his game plan is not really there, and he's getting outstruck in that second round. So second round I gave to Chris Curtis. To start the third round, Allen opens it up with a nice double jab, then right hand, then adds another hard right hand behind it, then another combination of a right hand and left. Then Allen lands a nice lead elbow. Curtis finally lands back with a left hand, then lands a right hook following it. Allen tries to retaliate with a calf kick. Curtis throws a left hook that actually hurts Allen. Allen goes to retreat. Curtis smells blood in the water, tries to go forward, but Allen clinches up, takes the back of Curtis, and he jumps on the back. Curtis right now carrying Allen on his back while he's, against the cage. Eventually, Allen does get down and clinch and lands a nice breakaway elbow and lets Curtis know it. Starts pointing at him, starts smiling. But it's like Curtis did just hurt you with the left hook, and this round was kind of hard to score. I would be honest. It was probably a hard round to score, probably the hardest round to score, because Allen was kind of controlling the pace, start of the round, and then Curtis, hurts him with the left hook. Allen goes to a retreat, backing up, then he clinches up, jumps on the back to recover. So I give the third round to Curtis, bro. I gave him benefit of the doubt. I thought that left hook really saved him, really helped him in this round. Made Allen, retreat, made him clinch up, made him try to recover, and then he starts fighting back with a second left to go. But Curtis, I gave him the third round. I thought that left hook did enough to win him the round. So nice job by Curtis to win the third round. Then we go to 4. Curtis opens up the fourth, landing a nice left hook and landing a nice jab behind it. Allen responds with a calf kick and a jab of his own. Then Curtis lands a nice left hook, then right combination. Allen responds with a left hook of his own. Then Allen shoots for a takedown and gets it. Quickly takes the back of Allen, but Curtis does get up and explodes to his feet again to get back in range. Allen lands a nice hard right elbow. Curtis responds with a left hand. Allen lands a head kick. The Allen goes in for another takedown attempt. Eventually gets it. Curtis tries to get up, but Allen stops him from getting up. Allen ends round 4 with the takedown in control, and I gave the fourth round to Allen, bro. It's really close on the stand-up, and Allen mixing in the takedowns, I believe, is what got him the fourth round on my scorecard. So right now, it's really fucking tie. It's 2-2 going into round 5, and it's fucking really close right now, bro. Round 5 starts. Allen goes for a takedown attempt, but it's stuffed by Curtis. Curtis rocks Allen with a knee up the middle, but Allen still takes the back, but Curtis gets up and they get back in range. They both land hard elbows. Allen gassing. He desperately wants a takedown. Allen throws a head kick off Chris Curtis's guard. Allen shoots for a takedown, but Curtis stuffs it. Curtis ground and pound from top. Then Curtis gets up. Allen goes for a single leg and gets it. Gets the takedown. Quickly takes the back of Curtis with a minute to go in round 5. Curtis fights up with 30 seconds left. Allen desperately shoots for another takedown, but it's stuffed by Curtis. Then Allen, final seconds of round 5, throws a flying knee that appears to hurt Chris Curtis. And then the round 5 buzzer hits. They end round 5. And, I thought that flying knee landed to the body of Chris Curtis. I thought it was a bad visual of Chris Curtis to give the viewer and the judges, because when Allen landed that flying knee, it kind of made Chris Curtis kind of wince in pain. And I thought it was because, the knee landed to the body, to the liver, and which made, Chris Curtis react that way. But Chris Curtis was reacting to, I guess, his hamstring injury. I guess he hurt his hammy during that final round, but still, I thought it was a bad visual for Chris Curtis to give, and I believe that's how Brendan Allen won that 5th round, just off that final 5 seconds of him trying to throw the flying knee, and it did appear to hurt Chris Curtis, bro. I mean, Chris Curtis was wincing in pain, and right when the buzzer sounded, both men just collapsed to the floor because they were so exhausted. It was a 5-round fucking scrap, bro. And I believe the judges got it right. I did see some people thought it was, a wrong scorecard, the wrong decision. But I thought it was right. Brendan Allen rights his wrong. I believe he got it just by the final like 5 seconds, and when he threw the flying knee, it showed intent. And plus, Chris Curtis did give a bad visual when he was wincing in pain and shit like that. I believe that had something to do to it as well. Maybe the judges thought the flying knee landed to the body too as well, which made Chris Curtis react that way. But it was a scrap, bro. Nice win by Allen. He rights a wrong. He gets a loss back in a win. Nice job by Brendan Allen. A UFC Fight Night, bro. It was fucking sick, bro. Was fucking sick. I was kind of mad that it started kind of early. Started at 12 p.m. my time, which is kind of a little bit early, bro. I like getting my day started, working out, doing my shit and cleaning up my fucking facility and shit like that. But, it was still a sick night of fights, Spooge Army. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. I'll see you guys in the next one. Next video will be the UFC 300 prediction video, unless some MMA news drops or something like that. But yeah, Spooge Army, I salute the fucking troops. Hoorah.